Test 1, 2, 3. Okay. Welcome to Bitcoin Daily, guys. I don't get it. Every single day I manage to mess up my mic, and right now the reason the mic is was off, usually is because the cable comes out, but right now it's because I actually took out the cable out of the USB port to put in the external hard drive to transfer some files because my hard drive was full. So there's that. Anyways, welcome to Bitcoin Daily, 9 a.m. Central European time on the dollar. We do the show every day, Monday to Friday, because we gotta know what's happening in Bitcoin, altcoins, and everything else. And guys, the big move is coming. The very, very big move is coming. We already know that we've been consolidating for a long time, but right now I'm gonna show you some nice technicals that the big move is actually about to come. And it's gonna be huge. I don't know, it's gonna be to the downside or upside. I think there is more probability, of course, towards the upside, but of course we can also drop towards the downside. Now, before this, during this consolidation phase down here at the bottom, accumulation phase that I'm actually talking about, I haven't been worried that we are gonna pump too much towards the upside or downside, because these big moves takes time. But right now, the move is about to happen, and I don't know whether that's gonna be today, tomorrow, this week, next week, but it's gonna be very, very soon, and it's gonna be huge move, guys. It's gonna be huge move, and I'm gonna tell you exactly why this move is actually gonna happen. The first thing, of course, as always, let's start with the chat. The central plan. What's up, man? Nice to have you here. Eric, what's up? Morning, fellow ravers. Dobro jutro, Stanko. Kako si? Mladen Petrov is in the chat. What's up, man? Class ready. Edward Too Good, good morning, what's up? Who more is in the chat? There is not a lot of people in the chat, actually. Xander, good morning, man, how you doing? So, guys, you are the lucky ones, you're the blue balls. Hopefully, you're not gonna be bluer balls. Hopefully, you're gonna be very, very happy yellow balls eventually. I don't know, where is the... Maybe you can find the image again. It was on Twitter somewhere. Twitter, and... William Clemente, I think it's William Clemente or something like that. His name is. People, there we go. William Clemente III. This guy is on-chain analysis. No, it's not this guy. William Clemente III. What, man? William, not. Wait, I'm just pressing wrong stuff all the time. This guy, maybe. No, it's not this guy. It just slumped like William. What's his name, man? What's his name? Let's go to home up here. Following. His name is. By the way, this guy just started following me. Greg Dickerson. Nice. But where is the William something? William Marian, she's the oh no, I'm sorry, I'm just pressing a lot of buttons right now, but Marian is the moon girl, so there's that. Most of these guys are just YouTube. Will Clemente, it's not William Clemente, it's Will Clemente, this guy over here. This guy over here, he is on-chain analysis, so it's worth it's worth following this guy. He's got like 660,000 subscribers, but he's on-chain analysis. He posts always very interesting charts. Now he did post before a chart of let's go to the media, a chart of the blue balls. Where's the blue balls chart? We gotta find. He posts too much, man. He posts too much. There is a lot of interesting charts, on-chain analysis charts from this guy. So it's definitely worth a watch. I can always give you copying, because even he is very, very bullish up here. Now there are some blue balls on this chart, but it's not the blue balls that we're actually looking for. Where are the blue balls chart? Let's see down here. There is somewhere up here. Here is also some kind of blue balls. Unfortunately, not the blue balls that we want. Where is the blue balls chart? Why do I always mess up my the blue balls? Wow, when is this? July. Nah, it's probably not over here. Let's go to my page. Maybe I retweeted this, you know, maybe I retweeted the blue balls. I think I retweeted the blue balls. Of course, I gotta retweet, you know, the girls. That's a must. Let's go down here a little bit. Maybe I can find the blue balls. Where are the blue balls, guys? I should probably done this before the stream started, but you know, sometimes, you know, it's okay to do it, you know, live, but you know, right now. Here are some charts that you can see that, you know, how is this not the bottom? I don't know if you've seen the chart. This is a MACD chart of the monthly time frame on Bitcoin. You can see down here where we are on the bottom down here. This is a monthly chart. The next image is RSI, and RSI also shows bottom, right? And then you got this my own indicator, TLI overextensions indicator, showing overextensions towards downside. Every time we had the bottom, we had these extreme overextensions. And then this is the Bollinger Bands. We're also gonna look at Bollinger Bands, but you can see here, as soon as Bollinger Bands retrieves back to the, you know, starting point, that's the bottom. Retrieves back to the starting point, that's the bottom. And right now, retrieved back to the starting point, so you know it should be the bottom. So there's that, you know, some very interesting, you know, analysis on the technical on the technicals that can actually show us. I don't know where the blue balls are. If you can show the blue balls, you know, there is it. Maybe we can just, you know, search for it and search for on-chain Bitcoin photos or something like that. Just maybe search Will Clemente. Okay, we are done with searching for blue balls, but you know the blue balls. How do you like the indicator? Will Clement, yeah. Which indicator? Heat map. Nah, not about heat map. So guys, first let's see how DXY is doing, because we've been following DXY for a while, and you can see here the DXY is actually breaking towards upside, unfortunately in the wrong direction of where we actually wanted to go. This line up here is acting as a resistance right now, so we are hoping that this is gonna pull back. Let's see if there is any kind of divergence. Yeah, there is divergence on the chart, which might actually help us. You can see up here, this is a 4-hourly divergence, but it just might be enough, you know, to push us back down inside this below the support line. And this expanding instrument, you know, musical instrument up here is not in our favor still yet, but you know, maybe eventually it will be in our favor, but right now it's not in our favor. So DXY right now looks like it's gonna break towards upside, but I'm expecting some kind of move over here, maybe towards downside, before it actually breaks, if it wants to break towards the upside. Now if DXY of course breaks towards the upside, it's inversely correlated Bitcoin, so that means Bitcoin is gonna go down. Now the big stuff that that's happening on the Bitcoin right now, and we can go to the daily time frame, which you're gonna see. If you remember yesterday's stream, guys, I said that before any kind of big move, something needs to happen. And what needs to happen is that we need to break certain levels on the downside, important support levels on the downside, that we can actually drop towards downside. Right now we are actually breaking those levels. So you'll see here we had a couple of very important support lines. These are the first support lines up here. And what you're gonna see here, that all of these bottoms down here got broken with yesterday's candle towards the downside, which is not a good sign, guys, which is not a good sign. So this is the first bad sign, that right now that we might actually start dropping a big, more towards downside. So right now that this support is actually being broken, we got this support down here on downside around 18.8, and then we get the last support down here at 18.4. On the weekly time frame, that's around the support is around 18.8 like previous time, but we can definitely do another move down here towards downside up here, maybe create some kind of, hopefully some kind of divergence again, and then bounce towards the upside. If you look at it on the weekly time frame up here, the RSI, you'll see that there was 3 pivot points up here right now. This right now creating third point, but between these two pivot points we had a divergence, we bounced. That's normal. And right now, if this starts continuing going towards downside over here, I'm a little bit unsure whether there will be divergence. So we can technically right now continue dumping on the downside, if we are gonna continue dumping on the downside. Now this might be, you know, by all technical indicator, this might be the bottom, but you know, we are in the new era right now, so you know how this is gonna play out, a little bit difficult to say. But Yesterday I wasn't worried that we are gonna dump. Today I'm worried that this might actually continue towards the downside. So we are definitely breaking some very important levels towards the downside. You can see even this 4-hourly time frame up here is right now consolidating up here, so you can right now get a big move towards the downside. So before any kind of big move happens, you always have or often have consolidation times before that moves happens. That means also on the weekly time frame. Before some kind of big move happens, if you go up, you can come back down to certain levels. That's very normal. But if you go down and then you consolidate, you can continue going down. So when we came down here on the weekly time frame, we started going up here and a little bit down here. I wasn't that much worried, but right now this consolidation phase is pretty much over. And I'm going to tell you why right now, because right now you can see that we are kind of bleeding towards the downside. Right now we are getting rejected by this 10-20 moving average, getting pushed towards the downside. And this push towards the downside, unless we get some kind of news or something like that, unless we manage to get back above the 10-20 moving average up here, some kind of candle towards the upside, this will actually break on the downside. Once it starts breaking on the downside, we are going to be in big trouble, guys. We're going to be in big trouble. So whether that's going to be 10k or just 18.8k and then bounce towards the upside, a little bit hard to see. But you can see here we are coming very close to these support lines on the downside. So this is the weekly support line right up here, and then you got this trend line. And once both of these two levels are broken down here, that's going to be around 18k or something like that. Once both of these two are broken towards the downside, if we fail to get it right back up again towards the upside, we might see some kind of very low levels on the downside. So whether that's actually going to happen or not, I do not know. And the indication right now is, I think right now it does look like we are getting pushed towards the downside, but we are getting pushed by the moving averages. And right now we're getting squeezed, or right over here we're getting squeezed. So some kind of move. The only thing we have is to have this move above 10, 20, 50 moving average, especially this 50 moving average. I don't know if you remember that I've been talking about this, because you can see here that we had 4 tries up here. 1, 2, 3, 4 tries to get above the 50 moving average, which we fail every single time. So if we are gonna get a big momentum towards upside, the first indications will be a move above 19,600. So 19,600 is very important. We gotta get some kind of big move towards the upside, and whether that's gonna come just over here after the consolidation phase and just slowly move towards the upside, or are we gonna get a spring towards the upside, that kind of depends. So those are the two scenarios, the way we can actually break towards upside. It's gonna be either a spring that gets everybody into fear and then bounces towards upside, or just slowly climbs up here and goes towards upside. I mean, of course, those are two scenarios. The other scenario is if we started right now getting pushed down over here below the support lines and then fail to get up, this is just gonna continue bleeding towards upside. I'm a little bit unsure whether this is just gonna pump up and then dump on the downside. I don't think that's gonna happen. So I don't see any kind of, I don't think there will be any kind of spring towards upside to push us below. It could happen, but I don't think that's probable. I think the more probable, if you're gonna get spring, it's gonna be spring towards downside than towards upside. And if you're gonna continue bleeding on the downside, there will be spring will fail and we'll just continue bleeding on the downside. But move towards upside will come with a spring, or will just manage somehow to get above the 50 levels up here and then continue towards the upside. So now we come to the very interesting part of the video, and as you know, we already know that we've been consolidating here for a long time. We already know that the moving averages has come down to us over here. We already know that right now there is no overextensions, there is no oversold levels or something like that. We know that there is no extremes or stuff like that. We know that the price is actually following what the price should be at, right? 200 moving average is a little bit below 200 moving average down here, which actually plays on the weekly below the 200 moving average, which actually plays in our favor, that we are going to bounce towards upside than towards downside, because it is, technically, however you look at it, being below 200 moving average on the weekly time frame, you are below certain, average price over last 200 weeks, which is quite quite low. So the way I see it, we need some kind of move towards upside up here to start this move towards upside, but it could change very fast. Also a trend line to notice up here on the top up here. This is the weekly trend line. What you're seeing here right up here, it's up here at 19.7, 19.8. The 20 moving average on the weekly time frame, exactly on the dollar. That's the line that I'm looking to break and if we can manage to break that towards upside, you know, it's all gonna be all good. But we're gonna see that. So now the interesting part, and just like I showed you on right now on the Twitter, the Bollinger Bands, guys. The Bollinger Bands are getting squeezed big time. So you can see here we're gonna start with the daily time frame, and I don't use actually Bollinger Bands for anything. Like it's really easy to me to see that, you know, we are consolidating. It's really easy to see that we are consolidating. But over here it does give you some kind of visual representation of what is happening. So you know, we already kind of know, but you know, how much are we squeezed? You know, it's kind of hard to, you know, decide by just looking at it with your own eyes. But over here you can see these blue lines. The blue lines represent some kind of bottom, and the red lines represent some kind of extension, right? You know, so not some kind of bottom, but they represent some kind of squeeze, and these represent you know, extension. So extension and contraction, right? So when you get these red moves down here, and we got it all the way up here from the bottom, actually from the two candles after the bottom up here, once we got this move up here, this was extreme extension of the Bollinger Bands on the daily time frame. And what happens after that is that we go into this, you know, move up here right now, and we are consolidating, right? We are consolidating. So this extension consolidates, but they actually consolidated and contracted over here, and then continued just going in some kind of sideways move. But you can see down here, even though we dropped on the downside down over here, right over here, we dropped on the downside, we are at the bottom. You know, contraction doesn't mean this that the price is going to go up. Contractions means the move is going to come. So after this move towards the upside, we had this contraction towards the downside over here, and once this contraction happened, then we got the move, right? And right now we have actually been you know, ever since, you know, 3rd of October, almost for a month's time, we kind of been going sideways, but this has been slowly being pushing towards downside, towards these, you know, maximum contraction levels are up here on the daily time frame. You know, so that's the first indication that something is going to happen. Now look how the weekly is actually looking. The weekly over here is a lot better to look at when it comes to Bollinger Bands, because Bollinger Bands on the weekly time frame does show you some kind of bigger moves, and it does show you some kind of you know, tops and bottoms that can last for a very long time, because weekly time frame does indeed you know, can play out for a very long time. So you can see here this you know, extension up here came actually all the way up here, all the way to the top up here. So this was, you know, huge extensions towards the upside when it comes to Bollinger Bands, and after that start consolidating, and this Bollinger Bands came all the way you know, was consolidating into this moment up here. And once we got to this moment, you can see here that the contraction is very high up here. Contraction is very high. It's only after this you know, consolidation phase up here, contraction phase, that we actually move towards downside. So once this move towards downside came, we you know, expansion again came towards upside, and during this movement, last movement towards downside, right now the expansion is going into contraction, and right now when it comes to the contraction, we are some kind of bottoms, guys. We are some kind of bottoms on the weekly time frame, and some kind of move can actually happen. You can see up here, this goes all the way back to 2017, even before that, and these are the maximum contraction times that, you know, we have had for a very long time. Now let's go to the BLX and see a full history of how this actually looks like when it comes to contractions of the price. And what you're gonna see here at the very bottom down here, only back down here in 2018. In 2008, this was the previous chart only went to 2017, maybe down here. I don't know why it didn't show this move down here, but you'll see up here as well that we went down over here, consolidated below the 20 moving average up here. There was huge contraction up here happening, and then we had a big move towards downside. So right now the big move can actually happen, and this happens all the time. This happens all the time. Every time you have this contraction over here, you can see here we went up, then, you know, contracted, and then we had a big move. The same thing goes over here. We had we went up and contracted up here, and then after contraction we had kind of sideways up here while we were pushing towards upside up here a little bit, and had a big move, right? So big moves do happen after these contractions. And you'll see up here as well, after we hit some kind of bottom down here, we hit some kind of bottom, then we actually contracted for, I think this was a 6 months contractions time. We had a big move up here, all the way up here, big move, but it didn't do actually much for when it came to contraction. It just went up, down, and continued sideways up here. So I mean, the bottom can last more longer than you know it does look like. But the big move is about to happen over here. The way I see it, the big move is about to happen. Now, hopefully this, you know, for whatever reason, jumps up here, breaks the downtrend over here, and continues towards the upside. But it's hard to say. It's hard to say what's gonna happen. You know, whether we're gonna dump on the downside or go towards the upside, it's kind of hard to say. It's kind of hard to say because I believe that we should go towards the upside, because by all technical indicators, and that's what we do on this channel, by all technical indicators, we are on some kind of bottom. Like, it's really hard to argue that you're gonna go down. And if you're gonna go down, like, imagine some kind of company, right? Imagine Tesla. Imagine Tesla going down to 200 moving average on the monthly time frame or something crazy like that, and then goes below that. The only way it's going to continue going down if you take the company and figure out that the underlying value of the company is not worth as much, right? So if Bitcoin is going to go down, we have to assume that Bitcoin is actually crap. We have to do that. I mean, you gotta assume that Bitcoin is crap if it's gonna go down. But I do not believe that. I don't believe that Bitcoin is crap. I don't believe that Bitcoin is gonna go away. I think Bitcoin is undervalued, and I think that Bitcoin, you know, I don't know if you just heard, there is 24,000 ATMs in South Africa or Argentina, or not South Africa, South America or Argentina right now being implemented to be able to, you know, pay with that wasn't Bitcoin, that was Tether. That was actually Tether. So the adoption is happening. Everybody is getting on the crypto train. It's not gonna die the way I see it, but will it get even more undervalued? That's the big question, guys. That's the big question. Will it get even more undervalued? That's the big question. I believe this has to break towards the upside. I believe this has to break towards the upside. But what I'm looking at is this line over here, give or take. Was this line on the weekly time frame? Daily time frame. Yeah, on the daily time frame is a little bit different, I think, over here. Where did we draw the line? Oh, we drew the line over here. Yeah. So this was a 4-hourly line, right? This was the 4-hourly line. It wasn't 4-hourly line. Which line was it? I don't know. I want to go back. Which line was it that we drew? The trend line. Was it 4-hourly trend line? Was it hourly trend line? I don't remember, guys. I don't remember. Where was the line that we actually just drew right now that showed, maybe it was small time frames. Nah, it cannot be small time frames. I absolutely no clue. Maybe it was BLX. I don't know. But, you know, if he dumped towards downside, you know, it's not my fault. You know, I like Bitcoin. How can somebody like predict how and when all buys or sells or pump and dumps? How can somebody like predict how and when all buys and sells? Stream frozen. Is the stream frozen, guys? Is the stream frozen, guys? Nah, my stream is looking fine. Just yeah, good idea. I don't know. People are figuring out when the big moves are gonna come is when nothing is happening, when price is, you know, consolidating and stuff like that, right? But right now, you know, the big move is about to happen. The big move is about. There was also the line up here that we actually drew up here. You can see here that we are actually breaking this line towards the downside right now. So if, you know, today we fail to get back up there again and we continue bleeding on the downside, I gotta go with a, you know, spring or a bleed towards the downside. Because right now I think we need to get back up on the trend. You can see here already that we are breaking stuff on the downside. So yesterday it wasn't that bad. We still was above the support line. Yesterday we are still, you know, holding everything towards upside. Everything was looking nice. Today it does not look that nice. You know, if you look at the charts over here, you see on the 4-hourly time frame that we broke this line towards us. I managed to get back, but right back down again. And not only that, we actually managed to create a lower low up here. It wasn't actually a low. Yeah, it is lower low. This on Binance over here Let's see up here if it was lower low. Yeah, it was actually technically lower low. I mean, but you gotta zoom in really hard to see that lower low. And this is actually creating on the 4-hourly time frame a divergence up here. So you can see up here that we went a little bit towards downside while we went a little bit up here. So what I'm expecting right now is a move towards the upside and then a bigger move towards the downside. If that happens, that's gonna, you know, invalidate this divergence, and it can just continue pumping towards the, you know, going down. But we also have this, you know, momentum up here on the 4-hourly time frame that shows that this momentum is kind of dying out. This momentum is kind of dying out. It's hard to predict. I want to say that, you know, because I don't see any kind of, you know, special kind of pattern up here on the chart besides support and resistance lines. I don't see any kind of special pattern up here on the chart, and nothing like a falling wedge or a triangle or anything like that. Maybe there is some kind of triangle that we are breaking towards downside up here. Maybe we should go something like this over here. I don't know. This looks like maybe some kind of, you know, triangle up here that we are breaking on the downside. But hard to say, guys. Hard to say. I think average buy or sell don't watch the to buy or sell. So actually impossible to predict any pump or dump. Nah, it's pretty much you know, you can pretty much predict it. Let's go, bro. What's up, brother? Good to see you. Good to see you, Big Tuna Crypto. How you doing, man? A little bit late. We are almost done with the stream. Almost done with the stream. So yeah, so the thing that I'm watching right now is this. Right now you can see here the 4-hour is pushing a little bit back, and I think this is the best case scenario right now is if we get rejected by the 200 moving average up here and then fall below the line, because right now I think it's gonna go inside this, you know, triangle up here. It's already going inside this triangle. I don't want this, you know, triangle to break towards the upside. If it breaks towards the upside, you're gonna definitely see a dump on the Bitcoin. It might do move towards the upside up here on bigger time frames and then, you know, push back. That will mean, you know, spring towards the upside on Bitcoin. But if it just continues pumping up here, that's going to be very bad for us, right? So what's happening with DXY is very important up here. Very important. You can see here it is on the daily time frame, did manage to get above the 10-20 moving average, and it's still holding above there. So right now we are having this push towards downside, but we still got a, you know, 15 hours left of this candle up here, so maybe just gonna create a wick here and continue going towards the upside. There is no divergence up here on the chart or anything like that. Nothing that indicates right now that this looks weak or overextend or anything like that. On the daily time frame, it's not overextend at all. On the weekly time frame, the overextension came up here, but right now this overextension is pulling back. We can also see that the RSI is staying above 60 levels up here towards the upside. And usually when you're in a very strong uptrend over here, when you're a very strong option, you will keep above, you know, 50, 60, 70 levels up here, and you will just, you know, do stuff over here, and the price will continue going towards the upside. So the dollar still looks strong. It did not break anything towards the downside. Over here, between these two last tops up here, there is the slight divergence up here. Maybe that's, you know, there's some kind of double top up here on the top that might actually right now break on the downside. That's some kind of hopium. That's some kind of hopium for us. Weekly, sorry, I did not even see the monthly. Monthly is getting hit pretty high up here right now. And its monthly is very extend towards the upside. Right now sitting at some kind of 80 levels. And you can see up here, we came to that 80 level up here. And we came to that 80 level up here on the very top up here as well. So, you know, up here as well. So, but we did have, every time we hit these kind of, you know, extensions, you can see here this RSI extension towards upside of up here, very top. We had a pullback, and this pullback lasts for 1, 2, 3, 4 months, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2 months at least pullback, and this one, you know, blew off totally. Up here it lasts for 2 months, and up here it lasts for 1 month. So, you know, these extensions should give us, you know, between 2 to 4 months downtrend in the DXY, which might be actually very good for us right now. So we are coming to the stop up here. So we are hopefully gonna get, you know, 2-3 months or something like that with Bitcoin, you know, riding the pump towards the upside. That would be very nice. And then maybe get a, you know, a pullback on Bitcoin while this goes and creates a double top up here or something like that, with a divergence maybe, and then, you know, blow towards the downside, right? That might be the case, right? One more thing we can check out down here on the extensions is my own indicator down here. You can see here that these extensions right now very extend towards the upside up here. So when you get these extensions, you kind of, you know, when you look at other indicators as well, you can kind of see that we are getting to some kind of very increased high levels towards the upside. Anyways, still, let's go a little bit back so I can get my lines back on the chart. Anyways, when it comes to DXY, I still want DXY to go towards the downside over here. That would be very nice. That would be very nice. Bitcoin right now is having this very slight divergence up here, but it's just hugging the 10 moving average. This to me looks like it wants to break towards the upside, but I'm not gonna say anything right now because I'm a little bit unsure. I had one good trade yesterday. I don't trade, guys. My kid does not believe you're live. Can you please say do your homework? Ray, you gotta do your homework. Okay? Right now it's time to do your homework. Every day after school, the first thing you should do is do your homework. I got 3 kids and the one is in school. And every time he comes from home, he doesn't go to his friends, he doesn't eat, he doesn't do anything. He sits down, does his homework, and we then eat. Maybe sometimes we eat before the home, but always, every single day, after the school, homework first, then everything else. Then you can go to your friends, then you can do other stuff. But homework is very, very important every single day. Ray, listen to your dad. He's old and he knows stuff. Can you check the indicator after the stream? Which kind of indicator you want me to check, man? Indicator. There is no indicator, man. Can you check the indicator? What indicator? Last one in here, probably, but I liked already. Let's see up here on the daily time frame. I'm just waiting for Mladen to tell me what indicator. Can you check the indicator after the stream? Indicator. I don't get it, man. Is it a joke or something like that? Am I missing something? Let me see what he wrote before. How do you like the indicator? Can you check the indicator? I don't get it, man. I don't get it. It might be some internal joke that I'm not part of, but I don't get it. Anyways, guys, I don't have much to say. The stock market's up here. This is on the daily time frame. Went to the resistance, went down, went above the resistance. Right now, coming to the support. We don't want to go back below these 2 support levels down here. This is on S&P 500. So we are right now on some kind of support levels. Over here, we are also right now hit resistance, right now pulling back on the Dow Jones, and the Nasdaq up here is also coming back down to the 10 moving average. It still needs to climb back up. We still got a lower lows and stuff for that. Over here we got a higher highs, and over here we got a low. It's a little bit unsure what's gonna happen up there. Though the oil is consolidating up here between the moving averages, so there's that. But oil did a big nasty move right back down below all of the moving averages, which I don't like particularly. Nadaraya. There's an indie called Nadaraya. Nadaraya. Ooh. This looks Lux Algo. I don't know what it is. Let's clean up the chart and let's say Nadaraya. Oh yeah, the envelope. The envelope. Let's go to, well, the envelope works on first this is oil, so it works on oil. It gives you some kind of top, but when it went all the way down towards downside. So when you get very close to the envelope, you bounce. It's usually in some kind of middle, but these kind of tops up here, it's a little bit different. You can see here that it was making the tops up here and extending way above the tops up here. Something was happening up there, right? Let's see gold, how gold is doing actually up here. What is this? Window size 1000. Extensions, I don't know. Window size. Oh, this 100. 999. 99. 600. Oh, you can only do 500. 500 is the most. How far back in time it goes? Okay, that's how far. Bandwidth. Bandwidth is probably. I have absolutely no clue what he's doing though. But it does have some kind of crossovers, indicators and stuff like that. The trigger up. Source. What is using as source? Closed. So that's the source. Multiplier. Hide the disclaimer. There's a disclaimer. Doesn't matter. So I got a band weight as well. 16. Should be double. Why he chose 8, I don't know. Multiplier 4. It's just multiplier of why did he chose 3? So yeah, the multiplier is probably some kind of standard deviation from whatever the line he created. See, it created some kind of line, and then you get a standard deviation from that line. You get a lot more signals though. You get a lot more, buy-sell signals when you get a lot more buy-sell signals when the multiplier is only, because this goes for 3 standard deviations and band weight. This is probably some kind of, yeah, it's smoothing average or something like that. Probably some kind of smoothing average that he's using. So let's see how this actually works on Bitcoin. Let's go to Bitcoin up here and see how this works. But let's go to daily time frame. So you can see here we are actually even this indicator is telling us right now that we are right now consolidating as much. So there is no overextension or anything like that. We're just going in between these two lines. So it's definitely some kind of some kind of average with a standard deviation towards the upside and downside. But it does look, it does look like it's giving, decent signals up here. But, even if you bought up here, you wouldn't have done nothing up here. You bought up here, you would have gone up a little bit up here towards the upside. But these consolidation moves up and down can actually give a very nice indications, But if you bought this, you might have gotten wrecked. Maybe there is something to it. Maybe there's something, but see, it's the same thing. Look, DXY on monthly. DXY monthly time frame. Oh. But it gave you this, sell signal, but this is just pumping more towards the upside. Let's adjust a little bit more. Let's use the 3 that he actually used. Yeah, these kind of sell signals don't come often. So there is 1 over here, there's 2 over here. Oh, do you know what kind of sell signal we forgot, or buy signal? And the buy signals don't come that often either. This is mostly, so this, yeah, but we already know that this, extensions towards upside are huge. So it might give you some kind of, just like my indicator can give you some kind of indication of where we are extended or not towards upside. But there is an indicator that we haven't used in a while, so we can use it right now. It's called pi cycle bottom. There's pi cycle top and pi cycle bottom. We can actually pop both of them. Pi cycle top. So this is of course not working here, but on Bitcoin, you can look at it logarithmically. So this pi cycle, this pi cycle bottom, pi cycle top. This on the monthly. We gotta go to the weekly. Monthly is not giving anything. Weekly is not giving anything. It's on the daily. Yeah, so on the daily up here, but it's not this one. Let's see. Pi cycle top. Maybe it's this one. Doesn't matter, but we got a bottom down here at least, and these bottoms, this indicator doesn't flash that often. You can see down here pi cycle bottom for whatever reason, got crossed down here. This actually happened. Pi cycle bottom, that's 2014. Down here, indicator doesn't go more than that. Up here got crossed down here exactly on the bottom on the day, and up here on the day we came we actually was, you know, bottom was actually down here, but right now it's actually, you know, flashing up here, so not exactly all the way down there, but it's flashing over here, so when you got the cross, so now we already got the cross, and we've been going for a while right now, extending this cross up here, extending, and then it starts contracting, right? Extending and start contracting towards downside. So this already started contracting towards the downside over here, actually. So this was actually some kind of top up here, right? And this was actually some kind of top up here, right? And down here there was some actually top up here. So the red line is already going towards the downside. You can see here, which is very good for us, right? So the red line is already, you know, going towards the downside. So this just needs to do this, and then, you know, or this over here, and then, you know, yay! Good times, right? Good times. Because these, you know, at least previously, these, you know, crossovers, you know, happen very fast. Fast. They do happen, like, you know, fast. So the indicator is really good. Yeah, it does seem to, you know, give certain levels, but that's the exactly same thing we do on this channel, man. Without any indicators, we use moving averages and just look like how much is the price above the moving averages. But unlike this indicator, it's a very simple indicator. I mean, it's probably got a little bit more math behind it than that, because it definitely uses some kind of standard deviation to figure out, you know, how much away from the line it is. So you can check it out, but, you know, the same thing, we use, you know, almost kind of same thing, right? The extensions on the downside, right? So we don't have indicator telling us, okay, oh, this is extension, we just, you know, use the line, and it, you know, the other indicator might use some kind of a bigger moving averages, because then you get less moves towards upside and downside, right? So maybe some kind of 100 moving average or something like that, right? So if you look at, for example, over here on the 100 moving average, let's just remove these two. It's kind of the same thing, but you know how you're looking at, right? You can see 100 moving average up here, extensions towards downside, you know, these big, you know, huge extensions on the downside. This is exactly the same thing that we are looking at, right? Top up here 2019, top up here in 2017, top, this was actually hit the top up here, and then, you know, continue blasting through all the way towards the top, and by the time it came to the top, this actually corrected towards downside and then dropped down. So yeah, it might be something to it, you know. It's nice. Yeah, I mean, there are definitely, you know, good indicators out there that can be used for different stuff. Like last time we found that LinReg indicator, right? Linear regression channels. That can give you, you know, it can give you an idea where the channel is going, right? So we like that. It can give you an idea where the channel is going. So over here, it looks like the channel is going a little bit towards downside. And if you look at this channel up here, like, we are still above the support, so maybe there is some kind of hopium there. This pump, it's taking its time trying to accumulate more short still pumps. We are all crystal ball guys here. Good to see a full chart. Go, let's talk about the moon. The moon! Long time since we checked the moon, guys. We got a full moon that's not doing anything, literally anything. We started the full moon right up here, and right now we are just going sideways. So the full moon hasn't, you know, the full moon has maybe stopped us from dumping, but right now we are getting the new moon very soon. So I'm a little bit unsure whether that's gonna dump us or pump us. Pi cycle. Yeah, pi cycle indicator is legit, guys. I don't know if you know, but pi cycle indicators. Look here, pi cycle top. The top indicator, man. The top indicator for the pi cycle. Look this, man. On the dollar, it, you know, called the top up here. Up here. The crossover was up here somewhere, right? The crossover was right up here in between these two lines up here, right? It called the top, man. If we had been following the pi cycle indicator, top indicator, we would have, you know, sold at the top, but we didn't. But next time we will, you know, follow the pi cycle indicator. Look when we are at the top, right? So right now this pi cycle is actually speeding towards downside, while this is actually going towards upside. So I don't know. I mean, can you push it more down? Definitely can. Can we get a big down? Definitely can. Can be spring towards downside? Definitely can. Will it be? I don't know. Yes, we pump Monday. 24th October is a dump moon, I believe. I don't want to do that. Oh, 3 days. What if, imagine this, on the dump moon, we pump? Huh? Have you thought about that? Now that would be something. On a dump moon, we pump. That would indicate that even the moons are not strong enough to push the down. Guys, that's it for today. You know what to do with the Qcoin link, right? There is a link down below. You know what to do with the link, and there is a bell button next to the subscribe button. You know what to do with that. So since you know what to do after the stream, there is that. I'm gonna see you tomorrow, guys. Okay, same time, same place, 9 AM Central Time with the microphone on. Bye bye. Take care, guys.